What happened?
Almost caused a nuclear apocalypse.
You almost caused a nuclear apocalypse. What's up, guys? It's Dwayne, back again for another video, back again for another reaction. And today's a great, wonderful, beautiful, delicious day because it's a Norway day. 101 facts about Norway. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Well, greetings, motherfuckers. My name is Sam,
Hello.
and good dog till die to you. Oh god, I've lost them already. In case you're wondering though, that was some Norwegian, because today we're talking about the most Nor of all the ways. Norway.
Nor
yes,
of
the
all the
land
ways.
of what I call iconic artwork and literally hell on.
Wait, is the Scream artwork from Norway? Why did I not know the Scream? Why did... Wait, no.
Yes, the land of what I call iconic art.
That's from Norway. Why did I not know that was from Norway, guys? I'm very sorry. I need to learn.
Work and literally hell on
Amazing.
earth. You'll see, you'll see. But who is this penguin? And why is he so important? Which famous movie
why?
planet did Norway double up for? And will my accent be in any way convincing? Will it? 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so
No.
grab your skis and get ready to encounter one of the happiest places on earth. What a sweet change that'll
Oh.
be. As we count
Finland says that it's also happy, so I don't know.
through
We'll see.
101 facts about Norway. Number 1. Say hello to Norway, or rather doff your cap and do a curtsy, because this is the Kingdom of Norway, don't you know? It's one of those cool Scandinavian countries that likes to hang out in northwestern Europe wearing cardigans and solving murders. Number 2. The capital is Oslo, which is also backwards, sort of. Anyway, it was founded in about 1050, and as of the 27th of February 2020, the municipality of Oslo has a population of around 693,491. Number 3. The city is sometimes known under the nickname the Tiger City, probably inspired by an 1870 poem by Bjornstjerne Bjornson, which referenced then Christiania in central Oslo, not because they're fans of Joe Exotic. The nickname is mostly used by Norwegians from out of town, and rarely by those in the actual Oslo region. Number 4.
Okay.
The city used to be called Christiania, after a fire ripped through Oslo in 1620.
Christiania. I can't lie, guys. That is that's quite a cool name. I feel like you should have kept Christiania. That sounds pretty cool. But it sounds Spanish, so yeah, maybe Oslo's better.
24. King Christian IV of Denmark and Norway ordered the city to be rebuilt across the bay, near Akershus Castle, and called the New Oslo Christiania. Number 5. Oslo was kept for the now poor suburb where the original city stood, which today is known as Gamlebyen. After many years of fierce debate, the original name of Oslo was restored in 1925. Number 6. Oslo residents are some of the healthiest people in Norway. 19% of the population is overweight, which compares favourably to the national average of 28%. The survey also found that Oslo drinks less sugary soft drinks than average, and the numbers walking at least 30 minutes per day are better than average.
That's
Number
good.
70. They've also got a severe case of the Joysies, because Norway is the second happiest country in the world. Beaten.
The Joysies. What the hell is a Joysie? Are you guys that happy? Let me know in the comment section below.
By the finish line, by, you guessed it, the line's named after them, the finish line. Number 8.
Finland.
And according to the 2013 Global Peace Index, Norway is one of the most peaceful countries in the world, ranking 18th out of 163.
There you are, 18th. What's above you? Portugal, Romania, Belgium, Ireland. Ireland's that high. Interesting.
Countries. A lack of war and violence making people happier? What kind of nonsense is this? Number 9. Speaking of Oslo, by the way, the Nobel Prize Awards are held in Oslo in the City Hall every autumn. Whether or not they will be this year, who knows? But nice to know the location you head if you feel kind of noble.
The Nobel Peace Prize. Is the Nobel Peace Prize from Norway? Let me know in the comment section.
Number 10. They love Nobel Prizes so damn much, there's also a Nobel Peace Centre where visitors can find out more about the prize that's been given out since 1903.
It is from Norway. Wow. Didn't know that.
From the 14th to the 25th of February 1952, Oslo held the Winter Olympics. Norway topped the medal table with 16 medals, of which 7 were gold, so they clearly weren't very Oslo. Oslo. There's only so many puns I can make here, guys. Number 12. The river that
Terrible.
goes through the city is pretty unique as it has two spellings. Where some will say Akaselva, others will say Akaselven.
Akaselven.
This is similar to my name. Some people call me Sam and some people call me Dick for some reason, even though my name's not written.
Is that him? He's funny.
Should. Weird. Number 13. Norway shares its borders with three countries, Russia and Finland to the northeast, but these are tiny
Russia.
compared to the whopping 1,600-kilometre border it shares with Sweden, the longest entirely inside Europe. Unlucky Russia and
Wow.
Ukraine. Number 14. When you think
Yeah, you guys are quite like you're quite close, like in sense of a lot of things, right? In culture, language, ways of being. I know you guys. Some of you guys on the border go shopping in. Is it Norwegians go shopping in Sweden? I think that's Norwegians go shopping in Sweden. I think I heard that. Let me know in the comment section if that's what you do, or if you live on the border.
When you think of Norwegian territory, you probably think of this long, thin thing with a massive gangly bit on the end. That's snuggled up
Yeah.
next to Sweden, but look up and you'll find the island of Svalbard, which has been part of the Kingdom of Norway
Svalbard.
since 1925. Number 15. Svalbard is unique as it's a visa-free zone. That means anyone from any country can go there to live or work. Inside
Wait, what? I can go to Svalbard and work. It doesn't require a visa. That's pretty cool. But I'm sure there's not. Are there many jobs on there? Who lives there?
some cases, immigrants who are denied a visa to live in mainland Norway move to the island, live there for 7 years, become Norwegian citizens, and then move back to Norway, you know.
Wow. So you can go to Norway, and if you're denied a visa to live there, you can go and live in Svalbard for 7 years, and then you can become a citizen of Norway. It's a little bit of a loophole there. Watch out, Norway, I might be coming.
You know, the long dangly bit.
Svalbard as
I
well.
can't say that with a straight face. Number 16. Approximately 5.4 million people live in Norway, giving a population smaller than London. Plus, those lucky Norwegians have a load more space too.
The population of Norway is less than the population of our capital city. Wow.
With the
And it's such a big country. You got a lot of space, right? A lot of land.
country rocking 385,178 kilometres
Exactly.
squared of territory. Bonus fact, that's bigger than London and my flat. Number 17. Oslo is Norway's most ethnically diverse city too. 25% of
Right.
the city's population were born elsewhere, and an
Wow. 25%.
additional 7.8% were born to immigrant parents. Most of the city's population
Okay.
with an immigrant background come from Pakistan, followed by Poland, Sweden and Somalia. Number
Okay.
18. All that space means Norway has a population density of just 15 people per square kilometre. The only place in the whole of Europe you're less likely to bump into someone is Iceland. No, not that one. The Nordic one. It has just 3.5 people per square kilometre. Number 19. While we're on the subject of Nordic countries, Norway is both Nordic and Scandinavian. But what's the difference, I hear at least one of you ask? Well, sit down and strap in because it's going to get complicated.
I know the difference between Nordic and Scandinavian because I've been learning about Finland and Sweden. And I know
First off-
Finland... Oops, sorry. I know Finland is Nordic, but it's not Scandinavian. Isn't that pretty much what it is?
We've got the Scandinavian Peninsula, which refers to mainland Norway, mainland Sweden,
Sweden.
and this bit of Finland. Number 20. Then we've got the more common definition of Scandinavia, which includes Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, but not that tiny bit of Finland. These
Yeah.
three kingdoms are part of the continental Scandinavian language group and share languages descended from Old Norse. Still with me? No? Well, it's not going to get any better. Number 21.
Norse.
Because now it's time for the Nordic countries. Now these include Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, and their
Iceland.
associated bits and pieces. This geographical grouping share cultural links and were once all united as part of the Kalmar Union back in the 15th century. Number 22. It's
Are you kidding?
It's fairly common for English speakers to use Nordic and Scandinavian interchangeably, but when you're referring to Norway, you can't be wrong in this regard, since it's in both. So, phew.
Oh, wait, so... Yeah, it is in both. Yeah, it is in both. Norway's in both, but Finland's not in both.
Number 23. Of course, as an English speaker, I'm used to calling Norway, well, Norway. But in the local lingo, it's actually called Norge or Noreg.
Norge.
Two different names? Well, that's because the Norwegian language has two different written forms, bokmal and njorsk. Although 85 to 90% of Norwegians use bokmal, so I guess Norge is the winner. Number 24. The name Norway has traditionally been thought to mean North Way or a way leading to the north. But seeing as that's the, easy answer, there's debate about whether or not that's true. Alternative theories say the name actually means the way with the narrow fjords and lakes, the inlet country, or that it was named after King Nor, a mythological king who was short in stature. Okay. Number 25. People have lived in Norway for ages. Number 26. I'm joking, imagine if that was it. The truth is, evidence of humans doing their thing in Norway goes back around 12,000 years. But a kingdom of Norway, similar to the one we might recognise today, didn't come into existence until 872. Number 26. Prior to that date, Norway was basically Game of Thrones on steroids, with the land divided up between at least 20 rulers, each ruling their own petty kingdoms. Number 27. All that changed at the Battle of Hafrsfjord, sometime between 872 and 900, where the Viking chief Harald Fairhair, what a great name, won victory and crowned himself the first king of the Norwegians, and who has a better story than Fairhair?
So he literally just conquered all the little mini kingdoms. Wow.
Number 28. Well, his successor does. Eric Haraldsson earned himself the nickname Blood Axe by killing his brother so he could sit on the throne. That's brothers blood.
Blood Axe. And he killed all his brothers.
Plural, by the way. According to the sagas, Eric had 19 of them, but the brother killer only managed to murder between 4 and 7 bros, and ultimately lost the Norwegian crown to one of his younger siblings. Respect to Fairhair though, 20 sons, he must have been knackered. Yeah. Number 29. Norway and Vikings are like fish and chips, or Sam and Jennifer. They just go together. Those Luton Tootin raiders come from all over Scandinavia, but the actual term Viking might specifically come from a part of Norway. One theory suggests that the word Viking refers to a person from Viken, a part of Norway not too far from Oslo. Now, for fans of pillaging and violence, go check out 101 Facts About Vikings. After this one, obviously. Number 30. After a period of civil war between 1130 and 1240, which saw over 20 kings and pretenders to the throne battle it out for supremacy again, Norway finally found a bit of peace and quiet, until 1349. That year, a mysterious ghost ship arrived in Bergen Harbour, and it wasn't carrying presents for the locals. Number 31. Legend has it the boat set sail from England, but on its journey the crew had been struck down with a horrible disease, leaving the boat to drift into Norwegian territory. On board was the Grim Reaper and the Black Death, or maybe Thanos, because they subsequently infected the country and killed up to 40 to 50% of the entire Norway population.
Is this a myth or is this real? And why did they set sail from England?
Number 32. Things didn't get much better for Norway when King Olaf IV died suddenly in 1387, and spoiler alert, he would be the last Norwegian king born on Norwegian soil for more than 550 years. After Olaf kicked the bucket, Norway became part of the Kalmar Union with its Scandi neighbours Denmark and Sweden. Number 33. Sadly, things weren't exactly neighbourly inside the Kalmar Union, with Denmark acting like it owned the place. In 1523, Sweden packed its bags, said goodbye and became independent. That left Norway to fend for itself against Denmark, who went power mad between 1536 and 37, essentially relegating Norway to the status of a Danish province, and forced it to accept Protestantism.
Wow. Sweden just said, I'm not getting involved anymore, and went and left you guys to deal with the Danes. Interesting. That's why I think Danish and Swedish, you guys have a lot in common, right? With your language.
34.
Sweden as well, but I think Danish is not. What would you say, actually? Let me know in the comment section below. Is the Danish language closer to Norwegian, or is Swedish language closer to Norwegian? Let me know.
During the Napoleonic Wars, Denmark-Norway was allied with France and was defeated. Get wrecked. Under the terms of the Treaty of Kiel in 1814, Denmark was forced to hand Norway over to Sweden as war booty. Although the Danes managed to keep control of old Norwegian territories like Iceland, Greenland and the Faroe Islands, so all in all, not a great time for Norwegians. Number 35. Norway tried to escape this shotgun marriage by declaring independence before Sweden could take control. But when Sweden arrived in the summer of 1814 with actual guns and British ships, they forced Norway to say I do to a union between the two kingdoms. Number 36. Every year on May 17th, Norway remembers this brief foray into independence with Constitution Day, the National Day of Norway, and a public holiday with parades and lots of flags. Norwegian ones, I imagine. Number 37.
Okay.
Norway finally regained its freedom in 1905 after the Norwegian Parliament, the Storting, moved to dissolve the union with Sweden. They then asked voters whether they agreed with the decision in a referendum, and 99.95% of them told Sweden to do one.
99.95. That's unanimous.
Only 184 Norwegians voted to remain in the union. Number 38.
Right.
In a second referendum that year, 78.9% of voters decided it would be best for Norway to be a monarchy rather than a republic. And thus, Prince Karl of Denmark was chosen to become King Haakon VII of Norway, the first independent monarch of the country since 1387. Number 39.
Okay.
During World War I, Norway stayed neutral, and it tried to do the same in World War II, but Hitler wasn't having any of that, and invaded the country in April 1940. Allied troops arrived a week later, but were unable to kick out the Nazi forces, who occupied the country until the end of the war. Number 40. Good old King Haakon VII and the government didn't really fancy life under the jackboot and fled to Britain to organise resistance. Since 1947...
Oh, okay. So the King of Norway came to Britain.
To say thanks and to remember Britain's support during this difficult time, Norway has donated a massive Christmas tree to the UK every year, which goes on display in Trafalgar Square.
So cute! I have personally never seen this tree because I'm from the north of England, and at Christmas I'm normally in Yorkshire. I'm not in London. So yeah, but that's so lovely. So there's a connection. There's a bit of a connection between England and Norway. And you give us a tree every year. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Number 41. Unfortunately, not all Norwegians at the time were anti-Nazi. Discount Hitler, a massive bell, Vidkun Quisling, helped establish a regime for the Nazis to run Norway during the war. As a result, his name literally became another word for traitor. The meaning of life. Look it up in the dictionary and it means a person who helps an enemy that has taken control of his or her country, and is synonymous with adulterous, backstabber, betrayal, betrayer, break ranks, deserter, do the dirty on someone. You get the idea. Number 43.
Okay.
After the war, Norway joined the United Nations in 1945 and became a founding member of NATO in 1949, but despite having close ties with the EU, it isn't actually a member.
So you're a founding member of NATO, but you weren't a neighbour. So wait, you're a founding member of NATO, but you're not a member of NATO.
Twice in referendums in 1992 and 1994, just over half the public voted against joining the organisation, so Norway stayed out. Number 44.
Is that still the case? I don't know when this was posted, but is that still the case? Let me see when it was posted. Oop. Let's see. It was posted 3 years ago, but obviously, as we all know, a lot has changed in that time with the Ukraine war. Are you guys still not part of NATO? Let me know in the comment section below, because obviously I know Finland's part of NATO and Sweden is in the process, nearly joined basically. They're in the process of joining. What's what's Norway's status? Let me know.
44. Shortly after the Cold War ended, Norwegian scientists almost caused a nuclear apocalypse. In 1995, a group of scientists studying the Northern Lights launched a rocket from the island of Andøya, but Russia mistook this for a US nuclear strike, handed their president the nuclear briefcase, and activated its nuclear keys. Number 40.
What? Let me hear that one more time. What happened?
Almost caused a nuclear apocalypse.
You almost caused a nuclear apocalypse.
In 1995, a group of scientists studying the Northern Lights launched a rocket from the island of Andøya, but Russia mistook this for a US nuclear strike.
Guys, you nearly killed us all. No way, your scientists nearly killed us. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Well, we wouldn't imagine, could we? Wouldn't be able to imagine because we wouldn't be here if that nuke went off. Like, especially, I'd have been in England, and that's like literally, we'd been one of the first to go, along with the rest of Scandinavia and Europe. So yeah,